Donald Trump entered the White House with no prior experience in government. He was a businessman, a dealmaker, and a reality TV star. His lack of political experience was unprecedented in American history. Yet, Trump possessed an unwavering determination to upend the status quo. He campaigned on a platform of America First, promising to prioritize American interests above all else. Trump's supporters saw him as a Washington outsider. They believed he would challenge the political establishment and bring about real change. His detractors, however, viewed him as unqualified and temperamentally unfit for the presidency. Trump's presidency was marked by constant controversy and turmoil. His policies and rhetoric often divided the nation. Despite the constant controversies, Trump remained steadfast in his commitment to his America First agenda. He withdrew the United States from international agreements, imposed tariffs on foreign goods, and took a hard line on immigration. His economic policies, including tax cuts and deregulation, were aimed at boosting economic growth. Trump's presidency was a time of significant political and social upheaval. His legacy continues to be debated by historians and political analysts. Whether one agrees with his policies or not, there is no denying that Donald Trump left an indelible mark on American politics. The America First policy was the cornerstone of Trump's foreign policy. It was a rejection of globalism and multilateralism. It prioritized American interests and sovereignty above all else. This approach led to a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy. Trump withdrew the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement. He also pulled out of the Paris Agreement on climate change. He imposed tariffs on goods from China and other countries. These actions were aimed at protecting American jobs and businesses. Trump's America First policy had a profound impact on America's relationships with its allies. His confrontational approach strained relations with traditional allies like Canada and European nations. He questioned the value of NATO and other alliances. Despite the tensions, Trump also achieved some notable foreign policy successes. He brokered historic peace agreements between Israel and several Arab countries. He also met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in an effort to denuclearize the Korean peninsula. The U.S. economy experienced a period of sustained growth during Trump's presidency prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. The unemployment rate reached historic lows. The stock market soared to record highs. Trump attributed this economic success to his policies of tax cuts and deregulation. Trump signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act into law in 2017. This legislation significantly reduced taxes for businesses and individuals. It was the most sweeping tax reform in decades. Trump argued that the tax cuts would stimulate economic growth and create jobs. In addition to tax cuts, Trump also pursued an aggressive agenda of deregulation. He rolled back regulations in a wide range of industries, including finance, energy, and environmental protection. Trump argued that these regulations were burdensome and stifled economic growth. The combination of tax cuts and deregulation had a significant impact on the U.S. economy. Businesses responded to the lower tax burden by investing and hiring more workers. The unemployment rate fell to its lowest level in decades. The stock market also reached record highs, reflecting investor confidence in the economy. Section 4. Tax Reforms. Relief for businesses and individuals. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 was a signature legislative achievement for the Trump administration. This law made significant changes to the federal tax code. It lowered taxes for businesses and individuals across all income levels. The goal was to stimulate economic growth and simplify the tax system. One of the most significant provisions of the law was a reduction in the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. This move was intended to make American businesses more competitive globally. The law also doubled the standard deduction for individuals and families. The tax cuts were met with mixed reactions. Supporters argued that they boosted the economy and put more money in people's pockets. Critics contended that the cuts disproportionately benefited wealthy Americans and corporations. They also argued that the cuts would lead to higher deficits. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act remains a subject of debate. Its long-term impact on the economy is still being assessed. However, it represents a significant shift in U.S. tax policy. Section 5. Deregulation, Unleashing American Enterprise. Deregulation was a central tenet of Trump's economic agenda. He believed that excessive regulations were stifling businesses and hindering economic growth. His administration targeted regulations across a wide range of industries, including healthcare, finance, and environmental protection. The Trump administration repealed or weakened numerous regulations. These included rules related to environmental protection, financial regulations enacted after the 2008 financial crisis, and regulations relating to the Affordable Care Act. The goal was to reduce the regulatory burden on businesses. Proponents of deregulation argued that it unleashed economic growth and created jobs. They pointed to the strong economy during Trump's presidency as evidence of the success of these policies. Critics argued that deregulation came at the expense of public health, safety, and the environment. The debate over deregulation is ongoing. It represents a fundamental difference in philosophy regarding the role of government in regulating the economy. Trump's deregulation efforts marked a significant shift towards a more hands-off approach. Section 6. Reshaping the Judiciary, a Conservative Legacy. Trump's impact on the federal judiciary is perhaps one of the most enduring legacies of his presidency. He appointed 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These appointments cemented a conservative majority on the court for years to come. In addition to his Supreme Court appointments, Trump appointed a record number of conservative judges to lower federal courts. These appointments will have a lasting impact on the interpretation of the law for decades. Trump's focus on judicial appointments was cheered by conservatives and lamented by liberals. The conservative tilt of the federal judiciary has significant implications for a wide range of issues. These include abortion rights, gun control, LGBTQ+ rights, and environmental regulations. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which had guaranteed the right to abortion for nearly 50 years, is a testament to the court's conservative shift. Trump's reshaping of the federal judiciary is a testament to the power of the presidency to shape the direction of the country long after a president leaves office. His judicial appointments will continue to have a profound impact on American law and society for generations. Section 7. Conclusion: a mixed bag of successes and controversies. Donald Trump's presidency was a time of significant change and upheaval. His America First agenda represented a sharp departure from the policies of his predecessors. While his supporters lauded his accomplishments, his critics argued that his policies were divisive and harmful. Trump's economic policies, including tax cuts and deregulation, did lead to a period of economic growth. However, it is debatable whether these policies were the sole or even primary driver of that growth. Critics argue that the benefits of these policies primarily accrued to the wealthy and corporations. Trump's foreign policy was marked by a retreat from global engagement and a more confrontational approach towards U.S. adversaries and allies alike. His decision to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Paris Agreement on climate change drew criticism from many quarters. His imposition of tariffs on goods from China led to a trade war that harmed businesses and consumers. Perhaps Trump's most enduring legacy will be his impact on the federal judiciary. His appointment of 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come. The court's conservative majority has already begun to roll back abortion rights and environmental protections. Trump's presidency was a tumultuous period in American history. His policies and rhetoric often divided the nation. His legacy will continue to be debated for years to come. Only time will tell what the long-term impact of his presidency will be on the United States and its place in the world.